Hey everybody, BJ here, and let's see, Hillary Clinton's in trouble, Ilhan Omar's in trouble. We'll do the rundown of who got arrested and released this weekend in Portland, and let's see what else is going on. Well, they're teaching BLM in the schools now, and that doesn't seem to be working out well for anybody. So, this is BJ Does. I'm BJ. Let's get started. First of all, let's go ahead and run down how many people were arrested in Portland over the weekend. And if you're a gun owner like I am, and you have a respect for your weapons, there was a car. Um, let's arrested 113th Antifa Portland protest. Chris N. Canate was arrested. This is his, I believe, second arrest. And of course, uh, let's see, Aaron LaPointe Atkinson, 33, of Portland. He faces additional charges for trying to escape from police twice during the riot. Let's see, Dustin Ferreira, 37, has been in Portland Antifa riots for more than 100 days. He uses a wheelchair and usually is at the front of the lines being aggressive. He was booked last night in jail and charged with multiple criminal offenses. He was released without bail. A Portland ex-paralegal. This one is a really interesting story because this guy's a paralegal and he got fired, and he couldn't figure out why he got fired when he was arrested for indicted on a federal grand jury for violent rioting and conspiracy and everything else, and he couldn't figure out why he got fired from his job as a paralegal. Let's see. Chris Tommy is one of the self-identified reporters in Portland. Richard Eric Singlestad, 26, was arrested at a violent Portland Antifa protest and was recently wanted by the FBI for assaulting a cop at another riot. Charged, ended up being dismissed. He was quickly released without bail at this time. You see, here's the problem. Arrested at a violent Portland Antifa protest and quickly released without bail. Arrested, violent Portland BLM Antifa protest charge and quickly released without bail. Do you see the problem? They deputized the police because the Proud Boys were coming. But they won't keep anybody who's been arrested for rioting in these Antifa marches. It absolutely amazes me. But I wanted to show you guys something. Here we have press vests, right? Duct tape with press painted on them. But that right there, that is disgusting. That is the most vile picture I have seen from all of this. These people don't know how to maintain their weapons. This is looks like a Browning style 1911. This really should be a pretty gun. And wow, even the magazine's got rust on it. That is disgusting. Holy shit. Just look at it. Just look at it. You're defiling this weapon. Fuck, give it to somebody who will take care of it. Anyway, I digress. Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of State, 2016 presidential candidate. Hillary Clinton approved in late 2016 of an operation to target candidate Donald Trump, scandal involving Russia by tying him to Vladimir Putin and the Russians' hacking of the Democratic Committee. This is an absolutely stunning story. We thought it would never come. We knew that Hillary Clinton had something to do with it. Everybody said Hillary Clinton had something to do with it, but now we have the receipts. We have the actual documents. this is utterly amazing. Not only does Bill Clinton have his troubles in the Epstein case, but the Clinton Foundation is under investigation right now because of the Durham report, and hopefully, Hillary Clinton will be brought to justice on all of this, because she's been skating around this one. They did not think that Donald Trump was going to win, and they did everything they could to keep him out of the White House, but she doesn't understand that she was just a horrible candidate. Anybody knows me, anybody's talked to me for any amount of time. I have personal issues with Hillary Clinton. I won't get into that right now, but I do have personal issues with her because of the best man and what she did, the best man in my first wedding and what she did to him. I cannot stand this woman. I would have never voted for Hillary Clinton, and I'm glad that all of their attempts to cheat and lie and try to bring down a guy simply for being the Republican candidate, I am so glad that Hillary Clinton, number one, is not the president of the United States, and number two, she lost the election. Even with all of the cheating, even with all of the underhanded schemes, she still lost the election. That has to say something about where people's heads were in 2016, and I am so glad. Now we have this next story. Joe Biden has been given the debate questions in advance. Donald Trump is trying right now to make sure that there's no electrical devices in Joe Biden's ears, because what they're afraid of is they're afraid that somebody is going to be speaking into his ear. And if you don't think that there's any precedence for that, they tried to say that George Bush's hearing aid was a two-way radio for somebody to give him the answers in a Fox News debate when he was running for a second term as president. So here's another story about Ilhan Omar. Not only was she married to her brother in the scam to get her citizenship, not only was she accused of election fraud in her first election, now we have recent video from Project Veritas alleges the congresswoman is linked to a vote harvesting scheme, which on its face isn't illegal because they made vote harvesting legal in the state of Minnesota. The problem is not only are they harvesting votes, but her campaign is accused of paying for people's ballots so that they can send them in and get the votes that they need. This is a lot of trouble from Ilhan Omar. Let's see. He asked further, what does the Attorney General of Minnesota, Keith Ellison, have to say about this? What was the county attorney here in Minneapolis? What are you going to do about this? And finally, what the Attorney General of the United States, William Barr, intend to do about this in a massive criminal voter fraud caught irrefutably on videotape. Now, detractors are trying to say that this is some kind of deep fake. The president's weighed in on it, and you know, if the president's weighed in on it, then Bill Barr is going to be all over it. He's going to be all over it. On Monday evening, Minneapolis Police Department tweeted allegations of voter fraud being evaluated by MPD, is aware of the allegations in vote harvesting. We are in the process of looking into the validity of those statements. No further information available at this time. Yeah, Ilhan Omar, she's in a lot of trouble. She's in a lot of trouble if this plays out. And usually Project Veritas, they get criticized for doing these undercover videos, but yeah, Project Veritas is all over this one. So there's the story that I was looking for. Brandy Cruz is a reporter out of Seattle, and she does a really good job. If you want to, go over to Facebook and follow her, because she is an objective reporter. She brings it from both sides. She tries to make people understand the arguments from both sides, and she never injects her opinion into any of these news stories. And I absolutely love her. But she did a story on BLM belonging in the schools, and they're teaching Black Lives Matter propaganda in the schools now in Seattle. I can imagine they're doing it in Portland. And we had Brandy Cruz points out that there was school teachers at these Black Lives Matter protests, and when KOIN came in to do a news story on it, he shuffled them off, and the young activists that he was leading actually threatened these journalists. See, the First Amendment isn't being degraded by pointing out that Antifa journalists aren't actually journalists, and police officers don't know who the agitators and the actual journalists are. But when you know that there are actual journalists there, Antifa and Black Lives Matter are going to threaten them and tell them to get the hell out of there, because they want their propaganda coming from their own press. All right, we'll leave it there. If you like these videos, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and go to my website, shamirisdyer.com. We've got all kinds of really cool stuff there. We'll see you tomorrow.